Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and as you know, I am one of those rare people that plays, enjoys and supports Google Stadia. Even to this day, after all of the criticism that it's gone through, I still think it's a very viable cloud gaming platform. But the main thing around Stadia that people always mention and kind of complain about is the game selection. Even though you've got access to games like Red Dead 2, Destiny 2 and Cyberpunk plus a ton more, there's always that one game that isn't available that you want to be playing. So whether that's going to be something like Fortnite, Warzone or something more specialised like Skater XL, which is still one of the best skateboarding games available, those games aren't on Stadia. But they may be soon, and that's all down to the porting toolkit by Stadia. So what is it, what does it do and what's it going to be good for? Let's take a look. Now, a little bit of housekeeping, and let's just get this out of the way at the start. Did Google close down one of its first-party game development studios for Stadia? Well, yes, it kind of did. But were they performing as well as Google wanted them to and getting tons of sales? Well, not really. Now, is this a new way for Google to get tons more games with putting in not too much effort? Well, kind of, but is that necessarily a bad thing? If we get more games that we want to play, more up-to-date titles, it doesn't really make too much difference, in my opinion, how they're going to get on Stadia as long as they're going to be available. Now, the Stadia Portal Toolkit will basically allow game developers with existing games or developing a new game to port DirectX titles into the Vulkan API standard that Stadia uses seamlessly and effectively. Now, what this basically means is you're going to be able to get a ton more games that are currently available for Windows and DirectX platforms available on Google Stadia and also some other platforms. Now, I've linked a video down below that outlines in a ton more detail, but that's basically the simple explanation. More games on Stadia and an easier process for developers, so again, a win-win situation. Now, they go on to say that the way they've set it up is basically so that developers won't need to change many APIs in DirectX games or even change from DirectX to Vulkan. Now, that's a little bit strange in my opinion. I'm not really sure how that's going to work and how to get my head around exactly what that's going to mean, but in my opinion, you do have to change a fair amount of stuff in regards to the gaming code to get a Windows game to be working on Stadia. However, if any company is going to be able to make this a very easy, seamless transition, I'm pretty sure Google are the guys that know what they're doing. Now, something else that caught my attention is that Google were also stating that this same method of changing the way that games are going to be working can also mean that moving forward, the same process can be used to get games from Windows and DirectX onto Linux, so that just opens up a whole new gaming platform for those people out there that like a more specialized OS. Now, the transfer process could also help 32-bit games be changed and upgraded to 64-bit versions. And that could open up a whole new realm of older titles coming to Stadia. Playing some classic games out and about on Stadia seems like a pretty good proposition to me, but more importantly, this could lead to new games coming to Stadia the same time as on PC, the same release date, same game. Everything's going to be pretty much exactly the same, but you're going to be playing it via the cloud via Stadia as opposed to a dedicated gaming PC or laptop. But why am I making this video and telling you guys about this slight update? Well, it's mainly because I still use and really enjoy Google Stadia, and I don't necessarily think that it gets a very good name out there at the moment. And it also shows that Google has plans for Stadia, and it looks to be sticking around longer than most of us thought. And if you haven't tried out Stadia yet, now is a great time to do so. We've got some really great upcoming titles like Far Cry 6, FIFA 22 and Rainbow Six Extinction, just to name a few. Now, you also get some really awesome sales on Stadia as well. To pick up Red Dead Redemption 2 here in the UK on, say, the Xbox One, that's going to be around £40 to £50. However, the other day, Stadia had a sale and it was around £20. So again, if you've got the internet connection and you've got everything that you need, yes, I would recommend paying for Stadia Pro because you do get that 4K HDR support as well, and also the upgraded 5.1 sound. So again, playing Red Dead Redemption on there, yes, if your internet is good enough, is going to be a really great experience for a single player story driven game. Now, don't get me wrong, if something like Warzone or Fortnite came to Stadia, would I play it there? Not necessarily, because again, it is an online game, fast paced, fast reflexes. It's not going to be the greatest experience playing a fast paced multiplayer game on something like a cloud platform. However, for those story driven games, I think it's a really good solution. And as a user of Stadia pretty much since day one, I've seen that they've done a ton of changes and improvements and updates that make Stadia a really viable gaming platform if people would give it more of a go. Now, I'll keep making videos to keep you guys updated on what's next and moving forward, as I think as a platform it's still worth talking about. But for now, I'm going to get back to some cloud gaming, and I will catch you guys in the next video.